I'm gonna make it count. It's gonna be a short one today. Okay. Let's see. Let's make sure. Make sure I'm in the. Yeah, I will be. Okay. I'm sick. All right, you guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Culture Corner. We're in 2024 now. New shit, new times. New year, new me. I want it to be. I don't know. Now, since I'm getting into my podcaster bag, I feel like I have to present myself in a certain way to, just look stylish. I want to be known as a stylish podcaster. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. You're gonna start seeing me style on y'all hoes every episode or so. So get used to it. Um, you know what I was thinking today? Are there any Disney songs that you still listen to?
Disney songs.
Yeah.
Man, anything from the Lion King soundtrack.
Are
The
you
original Lion King,
serious?
though. The
You
original.
still listen to that heavily? What about like anything from Radio Disney?
Girl, no, all them kids, like Kid Bop type shit.
Yeah.
No, I never got
What?
into that when I was a kid.
Girl, what?
Never that. Like this, like the early Selena, the early Miley, Demi, like the early, like when they were still like representing Disney and shit. Nah, man, I can never get into that kind of music. It's not me, babes.
Oh my gosh. It was a fun time. Some of the songs are a little bit cringe, but there's some songs I still listen to this day. Like I saw this short, I forget his name. It's the Jonathan something the third guy who always does those spoofs of like the Disney shorts or movies. He did one of the Cheetah Girls, Fuego. Girl, I still listen to Fuego to this day. I'll have to show it to you. Like I'm doing a terrible. I don't know his name, but yeah, Fuego by the Cheetah Girls. That's a bop. What else? Ooh, I Want It All by High School. From the High School Musical 3 soundtrack with Ashley Tisdale.
Did not like High School Musical 3, and I'm not even trying to be a pick me. It's just like I just never got into it.
I understand, but I Want It All was a good song. That was a good
Just
song.
musicals in general, because like my girlfriend's trying to get me to watch like this one show on Amazon Prime, Has Been Hotel, and I cannot. I fell
You
asleep.
can't get into
I
that,
fell asleep after the second episode.
girl. What?
And then
Bitch,
she
I watched that when I was on YouTube.
and then she took me to the one on YouTube, and I lasted probably like three episodes, and then like I also knocked out. I love her, but just
It's
not my
fair.
vibes.
It's fair because musicals can be a lot. Like the other day, I was listening to like a Glee song, and I used to love Glee, but oh my gosh, it was the what was it? It was Turkey Lurkey, Let's Have a Kiki, and I was just like, they really let these people go rancid with these songs. Like,
And I feel as though musicals can be definitely, obviously played right. Like musicals in Broadway. Glee's also, can be a good example.
yeah, Glee had some good covers and some mashups, but they also
Yeah,
had some really bad ones.
I just want to watch the plot. I just want to watch.
Like,
I don't want to hear.
I
I want to
understand.
watch.
What pisses me off sometimes is like how shows will like just all of a sudden start becoming musicals. That pisses me off. That happened in
Like Mean Girls.
yes, but no.
Because
Like
where the hell does a musical need to come out of this like 20-year-old
it
movie?
was first a Broadway musical, so they adapted that into the movie. So
The
like
original movie?
yeah, so no. So the original movie came out, then the Broadway version came out,
Like, why would you?
then the musical came out. So it was kind of like all linear. I don't know. Broadway has loved making musical out of a lot of things recently, so I can't really fault them for that. Um, my thing is like when shows like The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina goes from like a really good show.
Is like a
It's on
play?
Netflix.
Like a play on on that one witch show, Sabrina?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
like
okay.
basically that. Like it's supposed to be her. Like and the first season, good.
Chef's kiss.
Second season, good. Third season, okay. fourth season. What the fuck is this?
There's
The
there's a
fuck
writer's
is
strike, you
this?
know.
All of a sudden they want to do band shit, and all of a sudden they want to sing every episode. No shade, no shade. I'm not saying that they can't sing their little hearts out, but this wasn't the show. This wasn't the show. This wasn't what brought me to the show, and this isn't what's keeping me to the show. So please stop. Like, if you wanted to have a little episode, I get it. It's fine. But the whole 5, 6, 7, 8 every episode, it gets annoying. No shade, no tea.
See, you get what I be saying.
No shade, no
You get what I be
tea.
saying. Something you just want to watch.
But for me though, like say with Glee, the reason why I was able to watch every season of Glee was because like that was the point. That was the whole point of Glee. Like it was supposed to be a musical. They were supposed to come out every freaking episode with a new song.
Yeah, it made
Like,
sense.
yeah, so like that was like what brought me to it. When I am coming to a show and then all of a sudden like mid-season they start doing a bunch of singing shit, it pisses me off. This is not what I want to see. This isn't what I want to see. Like, but yeah, another song though I will have to mention is my girl Miley Cyrus. Miley Cyrus, See You Again. Have you ever heard that one?
Girl, no.
You don't even know the last time I freaked out. I just kept looking down. I just steady rain.
I got
see what I'm
introduced to
thinking
Miley
about.
Cyrus songs pretty much with like what's that? The Climb. Or I mean, obviously I know like the
The
basic.
Climb is Hannah Montana, the movie though.
Yeah, and then you got like the basic like Hannah Montana songs, but like Miley Cyrus as her. Yeah, no, The Climb was my introduction. Then after The Climb was Party USA, and then it was the Bangers era.
Yeah.
So that was, and then after that, I kind of
Yeah.
like she kind of like. Well, for me personally, I kind of just didn't pay attention to her until she came back out again, looking like a fine age woman, with flowers.
You know
And
what?
I was like, you know what? I
Fuck
can listen to
you.
you again,
Fuck you.
girl. Fuck that.
Because let me tell you, I'm so pissed off. Now we're just gonna launch it. I was about to say Miley's been that girl because See
Miley
You
is that
Again.
girl.
See You Again. That was like when I was listening to that like back in those days. Kids Bop songs or like Kids Bop Disney songs were always on Disney. Like those girls would never like break out into main radio.
I'm saying she was
Miley
the blueprint.
Did
She was the
with that?
blueprint.
Actually, no. Hillary Duff's Loki did. Like Hillary Duff was that girl.
But
She
now I'm talking about
was-
the level of fame that Miley got though. Blueprint.
Okay, no,
Selena
listen.
may come
No,
close,
all right.
but Miley.
Hillary was supreme. She is the blueprint. All those girls would not
Do
have
I
had a
do
music
love me some
career
some
without
Hillary
some
Duff
Hillary
as
Duff.
well.
Like, see, everyone knows Hillary Duff.
We all know
But
Hillary
Miley
Duff.
Cyrus was like the magnum opus of what that kind of stuff can bring. And who else did you just say?
I said like Selena
Oh
may
yeah,
have
Selena
touched.
Gomez.
She may
I
have
really want to
touched.
give her credit, but like
Again, like she was like a third.
she just has a lot of fans. Like that's all I can say. That's
Because
all
I
can
mean,
say.
Alex Russo in Wizards of Waverly Place.
She
you
was
know,
really good in
come
that
on
show.
now.
She was really good.
I ain't
She
gonna
ate.
lie.
She
I
ate.
mean, I no hate the
She
Selena
ate.
fans. I love Selena. I'm not that big of a fan, but Alex Russo, what she did in Waverly
Yeah.
Place. And I heard they're making another one,
Oh yeah,
a
apparently
more grown up. Which
Very
granted, let's
interesting.
talk about that. Why
Don't
is
wanna
that the trope now? To take our classic shows and revamp them into.
Because Disney's running out of ideas because they don't want to play people to actually make new shit.
And while yes,
rather
it's
play it
nice,
safe.
like they're touching into our childhood. It's just like it can be damaging. Like iCarly
Can
though.
we come up
iCarly
with
did
something
it.
else? Yeah, because iCarly actually made it adult. Like the thing with Disney, they're not really gonna make it. I mean, Raven's Home was like a good one because like it kind of translated well, but that was like the spirit of Raven, anyways.
Right. Well,
Most of
the
these shows are
Proud's
not
Family one
gonna-
was actually pretty good too.
Yeah, but like that was also on Disney Plus too, so like they kind of have a little bit more freedom. I don't know why,
Right.
but.
So I took the Wizard of Waverly Place ones.
But bringing it back to Miley, I really want to talk about how everyone wants to give flowers, the Grammys, and talk about how it's so good and stuff like that. And I have to actually listen to the album. I haven't listened to the album because I was gonna do it for the for my channel. And I'm still going to. I have to record it, but flowers. I was like, okay, this is very cute. But what pisses me off is everyone's giving flowers the songs, but Plastic Hearts, her album, that was a bop, chef's kiss. I even have the me reacting to that in the vault, and I might even just release it just because y'all pay Plastic Hearts so much dust.
Mm.
Like no one talked about that era. She didn't get no Grammy nominations for that era. Nothing. And that was some of her best work. Bad Karma. Um, let's see. Give me what I want. Oh, give me what I want. Night Crawling. Angels Like Me. All those songs were so good. No one paid any attention to it. She comes out with the no shade, no shade. She comes out with this mellow. I don't want to say flat because it's not flat, but she comes out with this very mellow, smooth, safe, fun song, and everybody goes ape shit.
What, flowers?
Yes.
Because it tickles the brain the same way Bruno Mars's When I Was Your Man tickles your brain. They're both in the same like spectrum. They're literally playoffs of each other.
Yes,
But it tickles it.
but it's just like
It's
it's
nice.
not
It's hearty. It's something that you can, turn all the way up, vibe in the summer.
like
This is for the Jeep gals. That song is definitely for the Jeep
it's
gals.
just like it's
Love y'all.
maybe that's probably what it was. But like it for me it's just like
It was definitely a summer
it
song.
was like okay, Plastic Heart, she was giving it. Have you heard Midnight Sky?
No.
I was born to run, I don't belong to anyone. Oh no. I don't need to be loved by you. Stevie Wonder had to hop on that shit, girl. That's how
I
good it
say
was.
Miley deserves a lot of flowers. Cause
LOL.
oh well, she deserves a lot of flowers. She is definitely. I personally think she is very much underrated.
Yes.
And I feel like, she definitely deserves the same kind of viewing as other certain pop celebrities that, produce less than mediocre music. But, I'll let you guys figure out who that is.
If you're talking about one of my girls,
And I don't know one of your girls. I'm just saying. I think Miley Cyrus is definitely a lot better than a lot of pop girls in the category currently.
are we talking about what's it called, Ponytail?
I'm not saying if it's ponytail or not. I'm just
You
saying
better not say it's Ponytail, cause no shade, no tea,
there's a
girl.
lot of ponytails. You gotta be honest about that one.
I mean, yeah, cause Ponytail started it all, but Ponytail,
Ponytail. If it's the same ponytail that we're thinking, no, she's in her own separate category, and she definitely has made her way into that.
okay, I was about to say, 'cause I
Nah,
was
nah,
about
nah.
to say, not
That
her.
ponytail. No,
Don't
she
disrespect
she is going. She's in her own league. We don't touch that one.
her. Yeah.
But the other ponytail, who sometimes is not in a ponytail, yes, yes.
Everyone else, I don't even care for. Like, no shade,
Like,
no tea. Especially the new girls. No shade, no tea. They don't have it.
what new girls?
I'm not gonna say names, but she has a second album out, and she was paid dust at the Grammys. That's all I'm gonna say. For a reason.
Was it the same? Was it the same girl that kind of took over a couple years ago? She was everywhere.
Um,
Her name is funny to say.
what's
It's
it
fun to say.
called? Um, her name is. Her name can be found in two different parts of the world due to colonization of countries. You would see her last name and you would think she was one thing, but then you would find out she's something else.
Mm, 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 mm. I have a feeling I do know who you're talking about. I wanna say I do. So I'm gonna Cause like she's the only other pop girl that I'm thinking of right now that's like she was hitting it and then she just like to me dropped.
I never liked her. I never liked the new pop girls anyway. Sabrina Carpenter had one cute song. She dresses really cute though, but
What about the other girl, the driver's license girl? What is she doing? Didn't she come from Disney Channel too?
yeah, she did come from Disney Channel.
Damn, Disney Channel just be trying to get all they trying to make as many Miley Cyruses as they can.
We were not on the same page. I'm absolutely sick. We were not on the same page.
We not. Oh, we were thinking about two different people then.
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking
sure,
about.
for sure.
Oh, I was thinking about. Oh shit, fuck it. I was thinking about Dua Lipa.
Oh no, Dua Lipa's that girl. Don't you dare.
Nah, I'm just saying.
Don't you dare.
I'm just saying.
Dua Lipa is this generation's Cher. No shade, no tea. Like you actually have like her shit's fun. Like her shit's fun and it's good. She takes notes. She takes notes. She's not like an Ice Spice who has no stage presence and gets offended when people call it out. When people called out that she did not have any stage presence, she took notes and she got stage presence. And now and when she did that, she came out with what literally her best album that won best pop vocal album. Put some respect on Dua Lipa's name. Dance the Night Away is a bop. No shade, no tea.
Wait, so what's the shade against, Mrs. Permit?
How do I say this? I'm just gonna sing it. I don't want no mediocre. I don't want no mediocre.
Agreed.
That's all.
Agreed. I feel as though that one song, I don't know why it got so hot. But I mean, it was alright.
I come from an era of Gaga, Katy, Kesha,
like actual pop girls.
Like yes, like these girls, they had to hit it. I just feel like a lot of the new generation of artists, they're not really hungry. They kind of are just like, hey,
they're a little lazy with it.
Not lazy. It's just like, hey, you guys, I'm pretty, or I'm whatever, or I did this before. I have a bunch of followers. I can do X, Y, Z, and I can sing. So like the way that they enter music is like less necessary for them to hit hard. Since they already have a following, the music industry is just gonna allow them to do whatever they want, and I just think it just coming out a little weak.
So,
no shade, no tea.
Allowing them to
Even
have more
Taylor
freedom.
Swift when she came out, our song is a slamming screen door, sneaking out late, tapping on your window.
Not the accent with it too.
Like, cause she had one during that era.
Where did the accent go?
We're on the phone and he talked real slow, cause it's late and your mama don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like the girls had to come out heavy. When I hear these girls' music, I'm like, oh, that was fun.
That was cute.
Why is she performing on MTV VMA Awards? Why is she getting Grammys? This is mediocre. But speaking of the Grammys and Taylor Swift.
Oh man, please don't want to get the Swifties angry.
No, I really just need to say this and get this off my chest because like we talked about it the other day, and I need people to understand that like sometimes like it's not even about Taylor Swift, but like how do I say this? Because like that's who the person was at the time. That's who we must discuss. And no shade, no tea. I'm not talking about Taylor Swift. Do I really want to say this? Okay, let me just say it. The Grammys, first of all, is a predominantly white institution. No. That was found. That's what it was historically. That's what it was before. To say that they're not racist or don't have racial tendencies
or
biases is completely delusional
and naive.
And I think what people need to realize is, especially with the fact that they only just got rid of Best Urban Album category because literally George Floyd happened, and the year before that, Tyler the Creator literally said that, in quotes, said that he just feels like this category is just another way for them to call black people niggers. And next year they got rid of it because of George Floyd, and everyone had to make moves and stuff like that. And so that was in 2020. So to say that the this predominantly white institution doesn't have any more racial biases in their decisions is completely delusional. And I'm not saying that Taylor Swift doesn't deserve any recognition, and I'm not saying that Taylor Swift doesn't deserve any Grammys. What I'm saying is when you see an institution moving funny, you have to question, like every decision. It can't just be like, oh yeah, that makes sense for like the urban contemporary albums, but it doesn't make sense for album of the year when the last person to win album of the year was John Batiste with who, no shade, the GP hasn't heard a single song from. No one knows who that nigga is. Love that for him. No one knew who was. We all just loved it because he was black. No shade. But and then the person before that is Lauryn Hill, 1996. So you mean to tell me from between 1996 and what 2021 that white people were the only people to make album of the year when in fact the number one genre in America switched from rock and roll to hip hop, a category that's not even televised on TV still to this day. And you mean to tell me that there's not any racial biases that could be going on? And one thing that the Swifties love to say is like, oh, especially with Beyonce versus Taylor, they're like, oh, put Beyonce and Taylor in a room with a pen, piano and guitar, and see who comes out with a hit. And I'm like, okay, girl, put Gaga in the room. Put Gaga in the room with Taylor. Taylor's not winning anything. Taylor's not winning anything.
So you think Taylor would win against Beyonce if you put him in a pen, piano?
Because Taylor Swift knows how to play piano and guitar, and she knows how to write her little music. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say it's gonna be the magnum opus, but she's gonna come out with something maybe a little bit easier than Beyonce would. Who knows? But one thing for sure, you put Gaga and Taylor in the room, Gaga's devouring. My queen has been playing piano since the age of 4. Okay? She's been writing these songs since like 10, 12, 16. Since Dollar Bills, her first song. Okay? She has definitely changed herself. If you listen to what she was before listening to Red and Blue, her first album or her first EP as Stephanie Germanata.
Has she ever headlined a Super Bowl?
Yeah. Super Bowl 51. I watched that. I was at work. I watched it. Everything.
Oh wait, is that the one that she was like spinning around all over the place?
Yeah,
and
when
shit?
she was like doing the spider shit.
Oh yeah.
I'm on the edge. What? Yeah, girl.
Do you think they would
that's
ever?
what I'm saying.
You think they would ever let Tay Swift headline?
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure she's probably gonna do it next year. No shade, no tea. Especially because now that Coca-Cola's not doing it anymore, or the Pepsi's not sponsoring anymore, it's Apple. She's definitely gonna be doing it sometime in the near future. But yeah, so no shade, no tea. Taylor's not coming out. You know, Gaga. If you listen to Gaga in the beginning when she was performing Paparazzi, she was putting like symphonies in her shit. Like she was putting all these piano pieces. She was going crazy, going dramatic. She was chewing. Taylor Swift, even when our song came out, simple chords, nothing that could chew the intricacies of Gaga. So I'm just saying, in that department, even that don't make sense. Lana Del Rey's pen hits just as much, if not harder, than Taylor's, and she does not get any of the recognition that Taylor does. So by your merits, again, that doesn't make sense.
They be saying that Lana a real life witch, that she be sedating people and doing seances and shit.
Girl, if she was, then she would have won a Grammy by now. Like,
and
don't piss me off.
She a real witch doctor.
I haven't heard this album, but I heard everyone loves this album. This is another album that I have to listen to. But yeah, Lana then deserved a freaking Grammy. Her writing is so freaking good. Like, she paints a picture like nobody else, and she does it she does it really good. And the fact that she doesn't have any Grammys to her name, but Miss Swift has 4 Album of the Years, okay. And then not only that, people need to understand, the Recording Academy loves to disrespect people, black people. So it's like, y'all can say what you want about Miss Swift and think that she deserves it, but the way that they treat Beyonce is like, I don't want to say disrespectful because everyone's like, oh, she's the most awarded artist. How she's disrespectful. You know what's disrespectful is when the Recording Academy feels comfortable going to the public and saying, yeah, we don't vote for her because she's already won too many Grammys. Isn't that disrespectful? They're not even they're comfortable saying it out loud, so they won't even do it like in the privacy of just like the voting. They come out and say, yeah, we're not voting for her because she's already won Grammys. So again, that means that when it comes to Beyonce, talent's not even a question. When it comes to a black woman, talent's not even a question. But when it's Taylor Swift, we have to allow her to make up for her lack of great talent. I don't want to say she doesn't have true talent, but like, okay, her voice, it's not great. It's not iconic. It's not legendary. Her pen is, but we let the pen speak up for that. What does Beyonce have to do? What merit does Beyonce have to pass to get Grammy Album of the Year? Because that's the one reason why I didn't watch the Grammys this year. I watched her lose to Beck to Beyonce. Okay, fine. I watched her lose Lemonade to Adele. Okay, fine. I was really not mad about that one. I loved Adele. Adele was Beehive that night. She felt our pain, so it was all okay. Like, but the Renaissance to Harry Styles, no, never again. Never watching that show again. I never trust them again, and it pisses me off because every single one of those times, I was watching like with her friend and stuff like that. They would be like, I mean, yeah, I could see why he won. Like, Harry Styles like kind of deserved it. You know, Adele kind of deserved it. Kind of deserved it. And it's just like, okay, so why are you guys surprised that Beyonce hasn't won Album of the Year? If every time these white people come up with these albums, you guys say that they deserve it, and Beyonce doesn't. Like, that's exactly why Jay-Z got up there and did his thing. Okay, and no shade, no tea. Miss Swift hasn't said nothing about Palestine. She hasn't said nothing about Palestine. She said nothing about Sudan. And she said nothing about Congo.
A lot of celebrities haven't.
I mean,
Came
yes,
out and say it.
but not a lot of celebrities are crossing the $1 billion mark solo.
Right. Like,
Not a lot of celebrities have her influence.
Rihanna hasn't said anything. Rihanna's already a billionaire.
Okay, but Rihanna's a billionaire for like makeup, a $1 billion industry. Taylor Swift is a billionaire for just doing music.
Exactly. I mean, it doesn't matter where the money's coming from. You have influence.
Yes, but it's like it's different. Like, I don't know if you understand. Like, it's different. It's hard to do that for music. So the fact that she's doing it just shows you like the influence that she has.
I mean, I think everyone in
Are you
that
defending her?
aesthetic- defending. I'm not defending no celebrity.
Okay,
That's
so-
what I'm saying. Is that it doesn't matter if you're Taylor Swift, Rihanna,
Yes.
the Pope,
Yes.
Beyonce, Jay-Z.
Yes.
You know, these people have not.
A
Come
lot
out,
of people have said that, yes.
You know,
but
no matter.
she
who,
really does try to act like an activist, and she doesn't put on her activist cap until it looks weird that she doesn't, or until she absolutely needs to.
I think they all do.
Because I mean, like, yes, but maybe with at least Beyonce, like we discussed the other day, at least Beyonce shares her platform with other people
She
that
does.
can actually like talk about these things way more than she can.
She does.
There are times where she adds stuff into her artwork that makes you look up things. Like when the whole Lemonade thing, we were looking up MLK's speech or Malcolm X's speeches about the most disrespected black woman in America or person in America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Taylor Swift doesn't do none of that. But then she's always like, I'm activist, I'm girl power, I'm this, that, and the third. Girl, you're girl power,
She's for
but you have
feminism.
Future on your discography.
That is very much a question.
The Future. The black people get it. White people don't know nothing about Future, so they don't get it. But The Future, no.
Love me some Future though.
Okay. Why was she able to like, and then here's the thing about it. Like, if you're really vetting out like your dates for like your values and stuff like that, how did she end up with a man who watches black women trauma porn and says weird shit about Ice Spice to the point where her PR has to make a song with them, and now apparently They're at the Super Bowl together.
They
They're at the
twinsies.
Super Bowl together. That's her new black best friend. Her new black best friend. Her new black best friend. Yes,
I
that's
see.
what it is. She needed a little bit of color. And her friend
You know,
grew.
emphasis on a little bit of color.
Just
Just a
a
little
little
bit. Can't give me
Not
too much.
too
Give me too
much.
much. Just a
Not
little
too
dab.
much Nicholas Gurrs. Not too much
Just a
Nicholas
just a
Gurrs.
dab, you
You know,
know.
just a little
Still got
bit.
orange hair, so you know it's still iffy.
You know, from the back, she looks like us, so it's okay.
I don't want from the back, nah. Not from the back.
Okay, from the back, from the neck up, she looks like us. Okay, she looks like our little
If
orphan
you like
Annie.
squint and just like
She looks like
stand to
our
the
little
side,
orphan
maybe.
Annie. But yeah, like all this stuff goes down, and it's just like, okay, you know, I can't say nothing because, you know, Lady Gaga has a song with R. Kelly. But Lady Gaga has came out. Lady Gaga has apologized. Lady Gaga has also taken that song off of Spotify. You can still find Reputation, or you can still find Endgame under Reputation on all streaming platforms with Miss Swift, and she has not apologized. That man has harassed Miss Sierra to the depths of the earth,
Man has like
and he's on
10 kids.
a feminist album
That's it. I got it.
recently. Well, it's not really recent because it's like 2018, 2019, but that's recent enough for her to have known what was tea. But Ed Sheeran's on the song, so maybe he added it in. But why you letting this man let you talk to a misogynist girl? No shade, no tea. It's about the money. It's about the imagery.
The influence.
Yeah. So that's all we're gonna say about that. But you know, the fact that it's only February, early February, and so much stuff has gone down. Oh wait, no, let's circle back, because before we move on from this whole situation, let's talk about cultural appropriation and her boyfriend. He
Who, Travis
has,
Kelce?
yes, Travis Kelsey. He has gone on record and corrected people, but this is what this is the shit that we're talking about when it comes to like black people in hair. It's the bow braids all over again. The bow braids all over again. They see a white man doing black people things, and all of a sudden it catches fire.
Like Taylor Swift and swag surfing.
Yes,
God,
yes,
that shit to this day makes me so
yes.
fucking upset.
It catches fire. And all of a sudden, now people are in barbershops asking for the Travis Kelsey cut. Meanwhile,
You know that
back in the
viral
day, we
swag
were
thing?
all rocking fades. Bitch,
I rock a fade.
bitch, shithead. Bitch, what is this?
That's like a staple to the black.
Like, literally.
That's like, you know, it's like if you don't know what you want to get your cut, you
We-
just say I just want a fade, dog, and they just do you up. That's
Literally,
it.
that's like the basic for black people. Like, they're like, there's like a buzz cut that the army does kind of situation, and fades kind of do look like that, but fades are like lower. Like,
Yeah, fades are different than buzz cuts.
yeah, so it's like a completely different thing.
Like white people, like buzz cuts is like a white people thing, and then in essence that it's a hairstyle that majority of white people that I've seen, you know, tend to have in comparison to fades. Now fades is a majority of hairstyle that I see more so on black people than on white people, up until
Not
about
anymore.
recently.
Not
Which is
anymore.
fine, you know, it's okay. But to say that a hairstyle that is originated with black people as this new vamped hairstyle that's just created just now by this white man,
That part
it's kinda
especially.
crazy. And like that interviewer was crazy to fucking ask, to be
That
honest.
part especially. That part
He was
especially.
so-
It's okay. No one is. Well, I mean, a lot of people are mad and want to gatekeep it, but like, it's like that is like a specific hair color, like haircut code. Like anybody could technically get a fade.
Anyone
It's
can get
the
faded.
fact that you guys want to rebrand it and erase the things. Because no shade, a lot of black people have gotten some slack for that. That was very black coded back in the day. You know, there's a lot of people who were like, who would catch some slack for that. It was always like coded as a black thing. Now all of a sudden, it's okay. It's cool. That's what everybody does. And it's just like, have you guys not seen any black people rock that for like the past like years? That's the other thing. Like, have we been that invisible? Do we all look that much the same to y'all that you haven't seen this before?
I think and like maybe
I mean,
walk with
there's some
me,
places that don't have
right?
black people,
But
but
walk with me here, right? So I think what it is, and like that type of fascination with like our culture and like what we do, is okay. So think about it, right? When you tell people who, for majority of their time span on this earth, as a certain demographic, who is so used to just taking whatever they want. No, they don't have to ask no questions. They don't care about getting canceled because back then they pretty much owned everything. So when you tell those people that have been generations been doing that to now that you can't do that, or it's frowned upon for you to just go out and just like for example go out and get like dreads, obviously if you are of a white person, right? And the people that like rebel against that and they just go ahead and do it anyways despite the repercussions. With people like Travis Kelsey, right? They're like that bridge to the white people that want to do it, but they think that by doing it they're gonna have some sort of backlash from society on it.
yeah.
So they wait until somebody who looks like them popular enough that that backlash kind of gets more on them,
Ooh, that makes
so they'll be
sense.
able to do it, and they could be like,
That makes
well, Travis
sense.
Kelsey did it. So I
That makes
can't
sense.
be this, that, and the third because I seen other people who look like me do it, and they're not getting as bad as a backlash.
Yeah. Another thing that pisses me off about that situation, first of all, because like, first of all, white people, a lot of white people have been doing that. All the white people who date black people have been doing that basically to kind of code to black women that they date black women basically. So like that fade has been like a kind of signal to them. Which, by the way, black people of the comment section, I have to ask y'all a question. Does my hairline give Washishi Chaser? Does my hairline give Washishi Chaser? Please say no. Please say no. Please say no. Say no. Okay? Because, real quick, I didn't tell you this. Oh my god. There's this dude. I was on the Sniffies app. Y'all already know about Sniffies. Horrible place to be. I was on the Sniffies app. This 50-year-old white man, he asked me, I was like, hey, what's up? Da da da. I was like, oh, I'm good. I was like, oh, what are you looking for? He was literally like, to breed that nigger pussy.
Oh, at
Wait, let me
least
block
he
that out. My
confident.
bad. I can't say that with the hard R because
You already
they're
said
gonna
it, or
demonetize.
you.
I'll block that one out. What's it called? Nicholas Gurr pussy.
At least he was bold about it.
Nicholas Gurr pussy. I stopped texting him after that, and then he was like, "Don't." He was like, "Don't ignore me, boy."
Hey, yo, you know what I'm saying? Some black people into that. They into that race play. You know what I'm saying? You just it's kind of like you can't just tell someone's kinks
That's why I
outright.
said
You
I was
gotta.
like, you know what? After there was this tweet, there was this guy on Twitter who catfished a lot of black people as a white guy who liked to do race play. A lot of these a lot of these black guys just let them say it just like that. They didn't even care. Not me. I didn't even know how I was gonna think because I was like, it's probably gonna be different in this situation where I can't really hate these people. As soon as he said that, turn off. I was like, nope, over.
Yeah.
And I was just like, and for me too, it's just like, no shade. Okay, if I'm not saying I would do it, but I would understand in like a 20-year-old because they don't really understand like the constitutions of racism like that. So like, yeah, of course they would find a way to fetishize it. But this
Well,
dude was 50 years old. He like was literally right at the coattails of civil rights. So he's definitely heard white people say that in that way directly towards black people, and he has sexualized it. That's a sick man.
I got several
That's a sick
things.
man.
I got several things about that. So the first thing I gotta say about that is, are we surprised? Because you can't tell me that way back in the day when they were buck breeding those poor black men, that not a single one of them didn't have some sort of sexual prowess that came with it. Yes, it was. Yes, you could argue it was a dominant thing, but I think you know, fucking another guy, that's gay. I mean that definition is gay.
Yeah.
And if you know, release, yeah, that's a sexual thing, ain't a non thing. So you can't sit there and tell me that none of them slave masters back in the day weren't bucking and breeding both ways. because they were.
Oh, they did, girl. You know that's actually a thing. That was buck breaking.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, but I'm saying you can't tell me that there weren't some of those white slave owners that didn't find a fetish in it in a sexualized manner.
Oh,
Because people like to argue that it's a dominant thing. They were trying
no,
to just out
girl.
dominate the most
No,
dominant. Nah, it was
girl.
right. So
No,
hold on to that, right?
girl.
Hold on to that
Not
conversation.
everyone went through that, but let me tell you, the ones who did was because a
Oh
faggot
no,
was running that
they had
plantation.
no they regularly went through it the same way how we had cattle farms, but the cattle farms were where they would have black men force themselves on black women to create a litter of pups, what they called
No.
children, right? But hey, so walk with me back, right? So take that in mind, right? So then you got people out here, right? Within the kink community, there is something called slave play, which is not directly correlated to how slavery, chattel
Yeah,
slavery is,
yeah,
but just the aspect of a master and a
yeah.
slave.
That one's fine. That situation is completely fine to me.
How can you find? I mean, granted, besides the verbiage,
Yeah, because it's just like you're just using it as like slave and master. Because like we say, slavery has always been a thing.
always been.
So we're not even talking about like black people's chattel slavery.
Mhm.
If we're talking about slave and master, when we start talking about picking cotton and calling me a nigger boy with my nigger pussy,
I'm saying like the verbiage is different though.
that's when we start
That's
getting
when you
into
use
weird stuff.
right. Which, granted, again, I would not be surprised if there are a lot of white people in general out there that do have a sexualized fetish on that. I mean, think about it for white
Yeah,
women, right? For white women and big brass black men,
girl,
they like to say that they like to sneak away from their father's house to go over a black
girl.
man. That was a sexualized fetish, huh?
You need to go on Twitter and look up black bread.
Man,
That's a
I'm
thing.
not surprised. There's a whole category of porn literally called black. For
Ebony,
like well
BBC.
BBC, interracial.
Right.
Like it's a big, big, big category in porn.
Interracial. I'm telling y'all, I said it before. Interracial marriage is how there is the new colonization.
Ay. I think that obviously a lot of it, for what we don't see is can be out of love, but the way how it is fetishized in porn
No,
obviously is the
there
problem.
are some, there are some relationships that I see beautiful. Wish you nothing but happiness. You guys are just two souls in love. Some of y'all are only dating because this is the most acceptable option in your dating pool that you made, that you limit yourself to.
I don't want to say
No
that's a
shade.
race thing. I just think it's
No
just your,
shade.
I just think that's just their standards. You just
Yeah.
lowering
And if your
standards.
standards is white people,
Only white people? Like that's it? Just the race?
you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. I mean, look how many you be bringing home.
How many I've dated?
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
And how many to compare to how
Out
many
of,
the people that I've messed around with?
well, that's different.
Yeah,
That is different because
yeah.
that's how it always is. Because they always sleep with BBC. They always marry white. And if you look up most of gay Hollywood, 95% of them are with a white partner. It doesn't matter if they're Asian, Hispanic, or black.
Okay,
They're with a white partner.
okay.
It's just crazy. Like, does representation not mean anything to people these days?
I
Like,
mean,
is the idea, especially for gay people, black gay people, is that we have to find a white man? Is that what it is?
is it for black gay people that we have to find a black person?
What's wrong with finding a black person, though?
Nothing wrong with that. What's wrong with finding a white person?
Nothing wrong with that. But
See,
when all of Hollywood has found themselves a white person, that's a problem because that's not diversity. That's black and white. That's Asian and white. That's thing and white. That's thing and white.
well, when you talk
Where
about
is the
it,
Asian and black? Where is the Hispanic and Asian?
I mean, they're there in Hollywood. I mean, obviously, there's not a large
They're not
demographic of them.
married to them. Like,
I mean, no, there's definitely interracial couples in Hollywood that are married that are not black and white or white with any other race. Just like how in any other aspect of society there
yeah,
is other mixed couples that are not necessarily with white.
Yeah.
Interracial is not
Yes.
just black and
Yes.
white or
Yes.
white and
Yes.
anything.
Yes. Yes. This is true. I'm talking about gay Hollywood. This is a specific filter of people. So we can't bring everybody into this world. We're talking about the gays.
So what's up with the gays? They just like,
The gays like white people. That's what I'm saying.
like gay black men or just gays in general.
Just gays. Because, like I said, it's everyone. Asian and white, Hispanic and white, black and white. It's not Asian and Hispanic. It's never like black and Asian. It's never like black and Hispanic. It's always a white person with another person of the race. And that's why I'm like, that's when it's weird.
I mean,
Just like with my family, because like my family, I love my family to death. I love them to death. Okay? My sister, she's married to a white man. We love that for her. My cousin, she's married to a white man. We love that for her. My other cousin, he's married to a white woman. We love that for them. When we start grouping together, it starts looking weird that we only are going for white people. Like no Asian, there was no flavor in the Asian community. There was no flavor in the Hispanic community. That's why I'm like,
is this based here in America?
yeah, this is based on my family, like
Well, who
specifically.
holds? Well, I mean, recent reports have shown though that the majority and minority has actually flipped, and people of Hispanic origins actually hold a majority here in America as of today, which is awesome.
Crazy.
The white people are now a minority.
That's
Love that.
crazy.
But before we're not talking about that shift, white people hold a majority in this country at like 65%, I believe. Whereas second underneath them was Hispanics, I think at like 40, and then you had obviously blacks kind of like tied up in there, and then Asian natives are obviously on another smaller scale. So if you take like a sample of people, right, from that pool, obviously majority of your prospectors around you are going to be white. Yes, there's going to be maybe like four Hispanics, maybe three, four black people, and two Asians in your area. But if you like sample that entire area and only those 10 people are minorities, but the rest of the 90 are white people, yes, you're gonna have to hop around people. Literally the law of numbers. You're gonna hop around people until you eventually get to someone new. But you're not gonna outright just find someone who shares the same values, shares the same goals. You find that kind of compassion with them, and they are the same race in an area that race is a minority. Now, if I was in deep a part of Atlanta and I stayed around Atlanta, then yes, some of my people around my area would definitely have been black because Atlanta is a black metropolis.
I see what you're
But
saying.
I'm up here in Gwinnett County,
Gwinnett County is very diverse, though. So that's
it
the
is. It
key.
is very diverse, but we're in this like upper-ish part towards the other parts of Georgia where yes, there's us, but there's a lot of at the same time. A lot
Yeah.
of at the same time, and obviously people of Hispanic origins because
Yeah.
they also everywhere. Love y'all. So it's something different now. Obviously, right? If I were to go to any kind of parts of Asia, like China, for example, and I, am around a
Moved.
bunch of people of Chinese origin, and maybe like there's two white people from like London or something, and maybe
Yeah.
three people from some parts of I don't know another part of a country. My sample size, I'm still gonna most likely wind up with an Asian person
Yeah.
than I am gonna be with anybody else. It just depends on who you're
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in white Hollywood, especially when you're talking about like California,
Yeah.
that's a bunch of rich people. So
Yeah.
yes, my demographic is gonna mostly involve being around rich people. I might find someone, but we might not, we might not break off in the right way. But I'm supposed to date you because you're black and that's all around me is white people. Nah, I'm gonna go try my chances on someone that I can actually connect with at least, regardless if they're black or white. It just so happens that they're white because that's all around me.
I love that you see it that way. I love that you see it that way. Because for me, it's kind of like, how do I say it? I have no problem being with white people. I just need them to come correct, and I need their families to come correct.
Yes, I
Because
definitely agree
those
with
are
that.
two very important things.
Trust me, I've been there, and that is very
Yeah,
much that, and
and
that's
we've
the
learned.
crazy thing about being in interracial relationships, is that is sort of a question at the forefront of the relationship.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was dating someone of the same race, that's not a question, right? Of, oh, is your parents
Mm,
cool with me just because of my skin color?
mm,
And it's sad that
uh,
that question does have to pop up in
no
a
shade.
relationship.
I will say it depends on, again, what culture you're talking about, because when we're talking interculturally, it does happen. Like with black people specifically, like it does happen in the Hispanic community too. Like it does happen in the Asian
See, it
community.
happens. Oh, so your point is
Like
that it happens no matter what community. It doesn't
yeah,
matter if you're white. You sometimes
yeah,
will have to present that question to your partner of, oh, is your family cool with me because I look like this? And that does not matter whether you're in a relationship with a white person
yeah,
or a relationship with an Asian person. If that question does pop up, that's just what happens when you're in an interracial relationship.
yeah.
It's just another
But
tackle you gotta
which is
go over.
true. But for me, it's just there's something about there's just something about like the nuances, especially for like my identity, because girl, from a district like you and I kind of live in two different identities. Even though you're Jamaican American, you are also half fully American, and so like you have very much like the roots that this country's history gives you and stuff like that. So
Yep.
you feel it like you feel this country differently than I do.
Yeah, I'm American, but I'm also black.
Yeah,
So, Black
I'm
American.
also black as well, but my parents come from Haiti, and I'm first generation. So there's a whole other nuance to that. I was at an event, and a very a very intimate event, mind you, and one of what's it called, my family members, spouses, friends, or like they were a friend of a family. They were
Mm.
basically like talking to me, and they were asking me like, oh hey, what's up, like where are you from and stuff like that. And I told them I was like, born in New York. I'm from New York and stuff like that. And they knew my parents were from Haiti. So they were like, "Oh, do you speak like Creole and stuff like that?" I was like, "Yeah, well, my parents like speak that and this and that. They speak French, Creole, and English, and I speak Creole and English because they didn't really teach me French because that's what we speak in the house. This, that, and the third." And I told it. He was like, "Oh, so what was your first language?" And I was like, "I can't really say what was my first language because I feel like I learned them at the same time." Cut two, he literally just tells me, he's like, for someone, for someone who like people who aren't from the country don't usually pick up the colloquialisms like pretty well, but you did really well, like basically patting on my back because I sounded like that I spoke English really well.
You're
And it's like,
you're well articulate is what
yes,
they're
and
trying to
it's
say.
like, do we not just establish that I'm from New York, that I was born here, that I learned English and Creole at the same time? And it's like those situations I don't want to have to go over with like over and over and over and over and over, especially when your parents, like when your family's not that really like racially aware.
Hmm.
Like I would just rather not have to deal with those instances. And I feel like that's why I'm more of a person who wants to date outside of my culture than I do care about like outside of my race, if that makes sense. Like
Hmm.
that's what I'm more interested in. Like I'm more interested in like the cultural aspect of people, because that I feel like that's what like attributes to most people's like identities anyways. And especially like coming from like a Haitian person, like I have like a little bit of like everybody's culture like mixed in. So like say if I were to get with a Hispanic person, first of all, if I get with a Dominican person, he might be black. So race might not even be a problem.
We
But
talking about Dominicans are not black. They know black poppy.
I'm
They
saying,
Dominican. They know black.
there's some black Colombians. They
They
know
know
that
black. They
they what's up.
Colombian.
No, the Colombians know what's up because they actually fuck with Haiti. So like they know
Hey,
what's up. Same thing as Venezuela. They just don't get a lot of credit. Same thing as like
I
Brazilians.
about to say, but you better put Brazil on the map.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So like I like love that more aspect of like people. So I'm way more interested in like where people's cultures are and where they're from than more like the content of their skin. And I just don't care for white American culture like that too. So it's just like it's really hard for me to be like, yeah, like to deal with all these obstacles with them just for that end game. If it happens, okay, obviously that's the one that that's my man, my man, my man. So obviously I'm gonna ride the storm, If the
Hey,
dick is good, the love is good, I'm gonna ride out the storm. But I would rather much do so with like another POC person someone who at least understands first gen. You know, like that's what my attributes go towards. Like I would love someone with an accent. I would love someone who's not even like first gen, girl. If you're from the motherland themselves, bitch. If you could get dual enrollment or dual citizenship, let's go live in your country,
Man.
please.
But you want to know what that's all called? What you
What?
all just did right there? You just did a little bit of filter. You just laid out your preferences.
Yeah.
And people have preferences.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not everybody's
But
preferences
my
is gonna be the
preferences
same.
aren't based on race. My preferences is based on culture. Heavily biased on culture.
Yeah, mine's not based on race either. Mine's just based off of if I vibe with you or not, if we're having a good time, if I feel as though you are an independent person who's able to take care of your own shit, while at the same time I can take care of my own shit and we just take care of
That's
shit
true.
together. Like I look at obviously much more deeper things.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't see really much of color, nor do I really care about color. I really mostly just care about how we vibe out and how we rock
Yeah.
out.
Because your first girlfriend was Hispanic. Like,
Yeah, that's
so
what I'm
that
saying.
was
It
really
doesn't really like matter.
yeah. Yeah.
And I've had flings with people that are not just like
Girl,
couple
same.
nights. I just don't consider those as real
I've had
relationships.
sex with like people of all race, colors,
Yeah, it's not even
race,
just on
age. Girl, from 70 down to actually, I've never had anybody. Oh, actually, I've had like one guy a year or two younger than me. So, like, so from 70 all the way down to when I was at the time like
Goddamn, 70.
20.
You were doing some dude at a geriatric hospital or
Girl,
something.
I was old. Or that was when I was really young. That was when I was like fucking with the pedophiles. But that's a conversation that we should be talking and
You was a
therapy.
victim.
Like no shade, no tea. I was. I was. But we're not here to discuss that. But yeah, that's just like my whole situation with it. And then so like when that guy did that, especially like on the Sniffies thing, I was just like,
Wrong bitch.
it makes me so like it's like I have to remember that like obviously not every white person is like this, but like it just
And he probably thought. And again,
Yeah,
he
you know what
probably
I'm
thought
saying?
that you were that type.
like it's just so tiring. And then it's just like the fact that I ignored him and then he was like, don't ignore me. Maybe you crossed the line. Maybe you know what I'm saying? Have some awareness. That's what I'm talking about.
And men
I
be like,
can't
why
deal
we
with that
we ain't
awareness.
aggressive.
The lack of awareness, I can't deal with that. Like, sorry. And that's just something that a lot of white people have the privilege of not having. Is the lack of awareness. And I can't just be pointing out to you the things and the problems of the world, like seeing it in a different perspective, especially if you're an American, because ooh, it's bad enough that you're white. Now you're an American white person. Like I don't think you understand it. Like once you leave America, you will, but like it is a thing. We like, girl, no shade, no tea. Even black people, like you could tell it's like an American. Like that's all I can say. You could always tell an American. Like doesn't matter what the skin color is. An American is an American. But all in all, yeah. Moving on. But yeah, from the Chelsea cut, what else happened in this year? Oh yeah, Shay Shay, the Shay Shay Club podcast. I haven't seen a single episode, but I can just tell by the personality that that man is. I think his name is O'Shea. His name is Shannon. No, his name is Shannon.
Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp. I would call him O'Shea. I don't know because his name is it's the Shay Shay Room. But yeah, Shannon. I could just tell that this is not what he wanted the podcast to be. This is most definitely not what he wanted the podcast to be. This mature, lay it all on the table, bare like it is kind of thing, shading people left and right. Like it just does not seem like.
I mean,
this
I don't
is
think
what
it's
his
shade
direction.
if you're telling the truth.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's all I gotta say. Also, they ready to do the coin flip now. Well, we get ready to do the Super Bowl.
But yeah, it's just like everybody is just they're just so ready to go on that show now and just talk about all their
Air it all
problems and,
out.
like yeah, basically. And as long as it stays grown up, okay, because Cat Williams did it hilariously. I'm not gonna say truthfully because there were some things that in there that was like, but no one's gonna check him because why? Because first of all, he's a Virgo, because he will chop you ass up.
And bring the receipts. I mean, why would that
Yeah.
man have any reason to lie?
Like, you know what I'm saying? But there were some things in there that people definitely were gonna call cap on, that could have called cap on, but like no one just wanted to smoke. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Because maybe
They
it
all
wasn't
stayed
cat.
silent out of fear. Like they were all scared of that little man.
They were like, oh shit.
So he did it hilariously, and Monique did it gracefully. But notice, Monique has been getting a lot more slack for hers.
Yeah, because Monique always gets heat on her. No, the woman bereaves, and people are already like, "Oh, Monique this, Monique that," because that's how they just treat
She's a
black women in
smart
the
black
industry.
woman, and she's plus size, so they don't like her at
Nah,
all.
I better leave my auntie alone.
Like, she deserves all the things. Like she said, if she was a white woman, her name would have been Melissa McCarthy.
Who?
Oh, you don't know Melissa McCarthy? The girl, you haven't seen it. The Little Mermaid. She was Ursula. She was also in the Bridesmaids. Did you see Bridesmaids?
That's that one. The one.
With Kristen Dunst and Maya Rudolph.
Yeah.
She was the big girl.
Oh.
Yeah, and she's still here.
Oh.
I love her. No shade, no tea. I love Melissa McCarthy.
Good on her.
But Monique has a point. Monique has a point.
I think Monique would be a lot bigger than Melissa McCarthy.
She should have been. She has an Oscar.
So, like, you say Monique's name, people are like, "Oh yeah, I know exactly what Monique's name." You say Melissa McCarthy, it's like, you gotta give me a second. You gotta give me a good second.
Like,
And I think right there is more than enough flower. It's already flowers right there. The fact that your name. Now, granted, obviously to us we know who Monique is. I can reckon if I go to a couple of, people and say, "Do you know who Monique is?" They're like, "Who that? Is that a girl that worked at Walmart?"
all the white people are gonna be like, "Yeah, I have no idea who Monique is."
Right. So for sure, definitely. But granted, also again, if you come to us and you ask me who the hell Melissa McCarthy is, I'm like,
Some white people or some black people might know because like we're versed in both white and black culture.
I'm saying some white people might know too.
The ones who are,
There are. I would like to say there are some lightly seasoned. They're very much
yeah,
around. You just have to dig a little bit for them.
yeah,
But regardless though, it's also based off of like your environment. Obviously if you
Yeah.
grew up watching a lot of stuff that Monique plays in, then you would obviously know Monique.
yeah. But
So
it's just
that's what it is.
it's very interesting how like these past 2 months or like this past month
It really
has
is.
came out. The whole Megan Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj thing, that was insane.
I'm tired of it.
She lost a Grammy because of it.
Tired
Now
of it.
she's quiet. Haven't heard her since. Now she's pissed. That's probably what it is. And it's just like, ooh.
I think she finally came down.
Yeah, she calmed down.
No, she didn't calm down. She came down.
No, she calmed down from that.
No. You know what it means to come down?
Yeah, I know, and that's what I'm saying. The same thing. She calmed down because she was a little hyper.
Yeah, she
She
was
was
definitely
a
she was
little
definitely
hyper.
peaking.
That's why I said she calmed down.
Yeah, she was like,
Yeah. So, she definitely realized that she just should have just came out with the song and just thing. But, we just gonna let it be because Megan broke records with that song. And no shade, top 10, she probably would have achieved it anyways.
and to be
Top
honest,
5,
though,
maybe she would have never achieved number 1 if Nicki Minaj did not do some petty shit like she did.
and that's what I was gonna say. I was like, no, his is good, and it definitely would have definitely been in the top 10, even top 5. However, I think it got much more hype because Nicki responded to it.
Yup.
If Nicki would have just left it alone like
Yup.
Drake, it would have still been high, but it wouldn't have been as high.
Yeah.
And that's
Drake
what
my
happens
baby
when you
daddy.
feed into it, man.
Yup. Tragic for her. Drake. Oh yeah, Drake.
Drake said.
Beautiful. I'm sorry. Leave my man alone, okay?
This man said, "Who said I got a BBL?"
Leave my man
Who
alone.
said BBL? I ain't got no
okay?
BBL.
That man is so beautiful. That man is so beautiful.
Man said,
Oh
what
my
allegations?
gosh.
The only allegation I got is this long one.
Oh my fucking god. Like, I have held back those gates way too long. Like, I've always kept my attraction to Drake at bay, but
Drake
that
ran a bunch
thing
of new
just
fans.
released it. I was just like, I can't lie anymore. I can't hold it. But yeah, that was really nice. That was really fun. Uh,
Which by that, I don't think it was leaked. Like I don't think like some like hacker is just like, oh my god, I found Drake's news, I'm gonna leak it out. And I think that Drake is a very smart, calculated
you
man
sick? Now
with a
you
lot of
playing?
resources, and there's a lot of people that he can pay to do things for him, take some certain eyes off or eyes on.
I'm sick.
And I very much think that Aubrey release his own thing. Granted, not obviously by his hand, but definitely paid someone to do it. Cause
Looked so
listen,
nice. I
you
loved
ain't gonna
it.
talk about me like that in the blogs. I want you to talk about me like this. Yeah.
I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was nice. Uh, uh you know, there's one day I wish. There's one thing I wish we could go back to. The days when the internet did not connect us so intensely.
So like what 2012?
Kind of. I
Yeah.
just miss the days when culture was like there was no such thing as online culture. Like culture was like what you were born into, your environment, who you were around, and not necessarily things you found online, things that you're just like, okay, well, I can take now just because you saw it online. Like,
I'm a part of this group because this group makes me feel good.
yeah, like it's just I don't know. It makes me miss the days,
It's just I
but
think it's just the lack. I mean, I think it's a double-edged sword. Social media and the internet is a good way to, broadcast your individuality, but at the same time, it's also a curse to others who can't find their individuality, so they adopt it from what they see from others online. And it's just like, man, you got to learn how to be you. If you want to present that online, that's one thing, but to take someone else's or to take groups of people's identities to form an identity in your own, that's kind of sad.
yeah,
It's pathetic.
cause like
Do better.
this. First of all, it's Black History Month. All black.
You didn't give me no damn memo.
But yeah, it's Black History Month, and the way that I've seen so much like cultural exchange between like people like taking Black culture this month has just honestly kind of just been so sad. I saw this like I don't want to say Asian sorority, but it kind of looked like an Asian sorority. I saw this Asian sorority doing like a black step dance, like entrance into like
Oh,
their
I know what you're talking about. I've seen that too.
yeah, and I was just like,
They're not even doing it well either. That was
I
the
was like, where
embarrassing
did you
part.
guys find this? Who choreographed
Girl, you
this?
know exactly where they found it.
And that's what I'm
It
saying.
starts
It's
with
just like,
www dot.
why can't we just have our own things? Like, why must we always share? And then the thing that pisses me off is people are just like, oh, you can't take that from culture, da da da. Like, you can't stop people from doing that. It's like, no, we can tell y'all because look at the way Black people consume Asian culture. We love anime. We fuck with ramen. Caribbean barbecues are shit. We eat what's it called? We eat kimchi down. All this stuff. Do you see us walking around with kimonos? Do you see us walking around with Buddhist monk outfits? Do you see us walking around with I forget what the Korean like traditional robe is. It's like a psyche or something. I forget what it's called. Do you see us walking around with those
not
things?
not not the
Talking about
common.
senpai
Not
senpai.
the common AA, but I can definitely tell you there are a few
Yeah,
celebrities that kind of did that overboard. I mean, one literally has Asian in her name.
Asian doll.
Yes.
I'm sick. Yes, but like it's not in the way that we're like say with Asian people. Asian people are like to the point where they're doing dreadlocks and like making their hair look like yours.
Once and that just goes back to the earlier conversation. Once again that people are they're just gonna take what they see. And they're just they
Yeah.
they are just waiting for others to be a pioneer so that the hate is equally distributed to the point where you don't even feel the hate anymore. So I'm gonna example people with dreadlocks. Yes, we give white people or people who obviously don't have the same hair type due to dreadlocks. We give them a lot of shit, right? And they take that shit and they just run with it, you know. And that hate gets equally dispersed out, because then you have a lot of people adopting that, because you can't hate on all of us, right? Like you can't hate on all of us at the same time. You can only hate on a few of us. So a few of us are gonna get by with having dreads, and that just only gets bigger, to the point where you have to just like wonder to yourself, what is the point of like, if we're all humans, right, and we're all living in the society and civilization in the same time and age. While yes, I understand there is the importance of culture based off of location, based off of ethnicity, and based off of similar struggles. But at what point, does that now get assimilated all into one?
Now,
Exactly.
because the internet, like I said,
Exactly.
because now we're
So,
starting to become one culture
so
because
how
we're
can you
all
really
growing up on the
like?
thing.
So how can you really, actively defend? And this is nothing like a negative critique or nothing, but just like a food for thought. Like, how can you necessarily gatekeep certain aspects? Like, how can you properly gatekeep certain aspects if eventually it's all going to be dispersed out?
Because it's kind of not fair. Because like the
It's
way
not, but
one culture is being like spread out way more than others. Like no one is wearing any saris like from Indian culture, and people love Bollywood music and Indian food.
I don't want to say everybody, but
A lot of
a
people.
lot of. I mean, India is a very, very populated
A
area.
popular a popular cuisine is Indian food. That is a fact.
That is a
Like
fact because definitely around the area there is a lot of people. More than obviously what's here. So
yeah.
they that definitely. But me personally, like if I had to go around the world, and no shade, no tea, babes, I would not stop in India.
I would.
I would not.
Like they have this workout form that they do.
Maybe like North India,
Um
maybe.
girl, that's where all the white people are.
I'm not going to South India. Bruh,
Why?
I've seen how they make their food. Um, and I know that,
First of all,
and I've seen the rivers.
first of all, I
Yes.
need you to first of all stop looking at those things because that's exactly how they be doing Haiti. They be showing you the most brokest places, most cheapest places, and you be thinking that's the whole place. Have you seen India? That's a big ass country.
It is
Not
a big
every
ass
place
country.
looks like that. I
No,
promise
no,
you.
not sure. Yes, I
Like
said I'd
really,
rather see what.
not
No.
everyone is cooking their food that way. Okay, like please, 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 please get that out of your head. Like it's not a lot of them. It's the ones that you see on the internet because they want you to have that reaction of them.
I mean, I guess,
Like I
but
promise you, they don't
overall,
show you the ones that don't do it. Cause why? It's not gonna get any clicks.
like obviously like restaurants. Maybe
Like,
I'm not gonna. It all looks good. It looks good. Just again, the way
mm,
how it is being prepared.
and
And then
I'm pretty sure we can't even eat the street food too, cause like you have to be really like strict with the water that you eat over the drink over there. Like you can't just drink like any water over there. So,
yeah, I've seen like how the rivers like.
but anybody who's been to India always says the food is like amazing. So,
I
but
flavorful, spiceful, like full of all you can imagine. Oh, I
yeah,
don't doubt that at all. Me personally, I just would not. I would just.
I would. And not only that, like they have this workout thing that they have. Like they do these things with like their shoulders. Like it's like Indian clubs. I don't know the real word for them, but like they do like this thing where they're kind of like throwing all these weights around. It's supposed to really build your shoulders up. I want to get into that and stuff. So I would definitely go there. I want to see the Taj Mahal and stuff like
Ooh, that
that.
is
But
a pretty
like
structure.
there's like a whole caste system over there that really doesn't like the dark skinned black people
I mean, it's
that
been
are
there. It's been there
mostly in the
for
south.
like thousands of years. So I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
surprised.
But most of it, like most of the dark skinned black people are in the south that you never see, and like, that whole thing about like Indians not liking like cows and stuff like that. A lot of them do. They just, it's not just, it's just a certain like caste group, the popular one that don't. that like just got that idea everywhere. That's all I'm saying.
I would
That's
visit.
all
I
I'm
would visit
saying.
Singapore. I would love to visit Singapore.
Mm, I want to visit Japan. I want to see the Philippines. Thailand seems fun. Bali, um, China. I definitely want to go to China. Um,
I want to see what South Korea. South Korea is like.
so you would go. You don't want to go to India, but you want to go to South Korea.
Hell yeah,
Why?
bro. I don't know. The architecture over there looks pretty cool. Just the area looks nice, and I don't know. I feel as though it would just be a nice, cool experience.
The way you feel about India is the way I feel about South Korea.
Really?
Yes.
What's up with South Korea?
Girl, they're extremely. They are very culturalist. I will say they're very rooted in their culture while being cultural appropriators, and they're very much. Well, that's the music side of it, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of like the way that their society works, it's very light is right. Light is right. If you are dark, you are wrong and you are ugly.
Oh, I'm not trying
And
to. I'm not trying to like live there. I'm just trying to pass through,
yeah,
see the
but
scenery.
it's in the way that the people will look at you. It's in the way that the interactions happen. It's in the way that people interact with you. It's in the way that when you go to clubs, they won't even allow you to go to that club for whatever reason, but then they'll be playing people music right inside.
Hey, I feel as though a lot of countries are like that. Not maybe not in that
Yes.
extreme manner, and maybe not in the same exact way, but
Yes.
unfortunately, no matter where we go, probably even to countries within Africa themselves, we would face a discrimination of some sort of some kind.
No, well the discrimination that you would face in Africa wouldn't be because you're black.
Well,
That's like so
exactly.
is
Like,
everyone else.
it was exactly. It would still be the discrimination though that be felt no
It would be
matter
an
where you go.
outsider,
It'll be
but
American
you know what
or
I'm saying
Westerner.
exactly. Like, but the Asian one can be really bad towards life. I'm just saying,
I mean,
don't don't listen to me. Listen to all the people who went to Asia, had bad experiences, had horrible experiences.
I've listened
The
to.
way that they treated black people during COVID.
Hey, I've heard things too about a lot of European countries, from France,
Yeah,
to obviously the UK. I just saw one from Ireland, and I thought Ireland was cool. But obviously Ireland is cool.
yeah.
It's just, obviously there's always going to be people that obviously do not like change, or do not like progress, and they want everything to be exactly the way it was 200 years ago, no matter wherever you're going in any part of the world, whether it be in America, South Korea, even in Ireland. And the aspect of change, or the aspect of something new, or people that look new, is a very foreign and a very unknown topic to them. So instead of being educated or getting educated, they rather resort to hate and fear, that eventually it's going to drive them and their family out. Regardless, no matter where we go, we're gonna face that. But you know, I think that a lot of people give these foreign people, that kind of like time and energy. Like if I were to go to
Yeah,
South Korea and I was trying to go into a club and they told me I can't go because I'm black, okay, fine, whatever. It's not a huge fucking big deal.
yeah.
Like it's really not.
I just don't want to
Like as an American, we feel as though we have to make it a
yeah.
big deal. We feel as though we have to be like, no, you're racist. This is not right. Because like we do that shit
Okay,
over
that's
here.
why a lot of the times when you hear like a lot about racism in other countries, it's always coming from a black
Right,
American.
because they feel as though they have to point it out.
Yeah.
We have to show that you're racist, so you have to feel ashamed because obviously, if you do that around here, a lot of, not a lot, but a good group of people, they do kind of feel that kind of embarrassment and shame, and it's just like the pointing fingers type thing, right?
Yeah.
But if you go to other countries and you do that, they're just gonna look at you black in the face. Hell, they might not even understand you. They're
Yeah.
still gonna stare at you. So there's just no point in giving them the energy, like, all right, bro. Like
Yeah.
clearly, I'm not welcome in this area. I'm gonna go in the
I
next
just don't
area.
want to go to a country where I'm like the minority and then like some shit like that could go down and then I can't even speak the language And all these
Oh, you
people
mean
are
like how
looking at
that
me
one guy
weird.
got beat up by the French police because they thought that he was somebody else, but he was actually like he was a black American just visiting, just walking around. He got beat up by the French police,
Yeah,
and he was trying to tell the French police that I'm not from here. I'm not the guy you're looking for. And it took them like a couple of minutes into beating him for them to realize that, oh, smack, he's speaking English. Oh, he is definitely not the guy we're looking
yeah.
for.
See, like
So
that actually something like
happens.
that happened to me before. I was like right by the River Seine, right across from the Notre Dame, and I was like walking next to this area, and all of a sudden like this cop car like drives right in front of me. I thought they were like trying to go find somebody. So then they kind of like all come out. So then I'm kind of just trying to like walk out from their side. All of a sudden they asked me a question in French. Obviously at the time I did not know what they said, and I was gonna try to respond to them in French, but I did not know what they said. So I spoke in English. I was like, "What?" All of a sudden they pat me down, said nothing, and then just drove away.
Mhm.
So yeah, it can't. But at the same time, I don't know why. I will say I was just finished. I was just finished doing sneaky link tings with somebody in the area, so like I kind of understood. But I didn't speak any French, so I didn't know.
So you actually did commit a crime.
I didn't commit a crime because the person worked there and they let me into the building. So it's not trespassing if I'm let in by the
I see.
person who works in the building.
I mean,
There was no
potato, potato.
laws that was broken. Like so, but yeah, they they can move in a funny way if you're not used to it.
Right.
But yeah, that's why sometimes I kind of like no shade, no tea. That's why kind of when it comes to Black Americans, when they say some things, I'm kind of like I'll see for myself. I will see for
Exactly,
myself.
exactly. So we
South
get
Korea is not one of them.
you gotta take everything. You gotta take everything by your own personal experience.
Yeah.
Because again, I've heard ups and downs about a lot of countries in terms of people like us visiting, and I
Yeah.
think it's just you go
Yeah.
visit it and then you take the situation as yourself. Because again, I thought that when Germans, I learned something recently. The German death stare. I thought when if people be staring at me, saying if I was ever in another country and someone's staring hard at me, I'll be thinking that okay, something's going on. You like, why are you staring at
Yeah.
me? Like, what's up? You in love with me? You hate me? What's good? And then I recently learned that German people are actually known for doing that, but
Yeah. They.
it's not like on like a for the most part, it's not like on like a whole like mean or ill intent. It's just how they just be staring dead ass at you.
Yes, but girl, it's very uncomfortable when they don't stare at anybody else but you, and you're the only black person in the bus.
It is,
Like
but
it's
hey,
very uncomfortable.
she stare right back.
Very uncomfortable. And like some
Stare
people,
back.
like when you catch them staring, like they won't think. But some of these old people, they staring at you like. And girl, you in Germany, especially me, because I go to Germany frequently, and I
Mm-hmm.
go to Munich. And if you don't know, the Nazi Party started in Munich. And so when an old lady is looking at me, death staring me, what is going on in your mind, ma'am? What is
She's
going
getting
on in your
flashbacks to the
mind?
40s.
Are you trying to tell me something? I shouldn't be here. Like, what's going on? What's going
The
on?
goddamn
What's going on?
allies.
That's all I gotta say. But last time I went, there were so many more people of color than me. I literally told my cousin, I was like, girl, like every time we've been out this time, like we have not been the only black person, and that is so amazing. I loved it. All in all, yeah, when you go travel, experience it for yourself. Do what you want to do. Travel where you want to travel. Don't travel where you want to don't travel where you don't want to travel. Like make up the rules.
Travel where you want to go. Don't
You
travel
see
to
what
an
I'm saying?
area because you think you have to.
Yeah. So I think we pretty much landed that. But yeah, I know. Okay, let's wrap this up because I know we got a game to go to.
Yes.
Super Bowl Sunday. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm actually gonna go back to playing Tekken after this. Probably go edit some of this a little bit. Try to get some footage. But yeah, who do you think is gonna win?
uh, Probably the Chiefs. Unfortunately.
We'll see. We'll see. Is that Taylor's team?
Mm-hmm.
Mm, probably.
They're on a hype train right now,
No
so
shade, no
NFL
tea.
needs the reviews. So yeah.
Yeah, I was like, especially with Taylor Swift all around.
Mm.
No shade, no tea. I'm gonna order a pizza. I'm gonna gonna have a little Sunday in.
Yeah,
But yeah, girl, thank you so much for coming. Where
of
can the people
course.
find you?
Of course, you can always find me on my IG. You know, that is Bree.bear1000. And otherwise, that you can find me around.
Okay, okay. And please, I think with this one, the last three I did not upload them to like any place. I think with this one, I'm gonna upload it to YouTube first. But within the month, I want to upload it onto like Spotify, on
Mm.
streaming platforms. So if I do, babes, please go to the streaming platforms and go ahead and give this 5 stars. Go ahead and like, or go ahead and tell the girls what you love about it. Cause you know I'm gonna start coming at you with a little bit hot. We're gonna have to do this next week, of course, with Key if she can come. We'll
Yeah,
see. But
we'll see.
yeah, girl. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll see you guys on the next episode.
Peace
We
out.
gotta go. Bye. And with that,
Okay.
boom, what time is it?
Almost 7.
Oh my god. Thank you so much, girl. You stayed for the whole thing. And this one kept recording, thank God. Ah.